Go.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to the Hippie Hebrew Homestead. We are butchering some deer right now. And I don't really know exactly what I'm doing, so if I'm doing something wrong, let me know in the comments. But so far we've gotten some football roasts, some steaks out of that, if you want to come and look at this. So these are cut from the rear leg. We've got these steaks, got a small bit of rump roast here. So I've just been trimming the deer. I've got a pile for grind, which I'm gonna have to go through this and clean it. We've got 2 front shoulders here. I've got a shank here that's gonna get prepped. And this, whatever cut this is, I'm not quite sure. I think it's a shank. No, not a shank, because this is a shank. Whatever this cut is, pardon my ignorance, but we're just gonna kind of get right into cutting this thing out. So this is a pretty big chunk of meat here, and I'm just cleaning her up. Just kind of following natural seams with the deer here. If you want to come in and look at this, Miss Hippie Hebrew Homesteader is behind the camera right now. So I'm over here just taking some of this meat out, some of this really good meat. And this doe was shot on my property, or no, not my property, on my buddy down the road, on his property. He was generous enough to let me partake in hunting season this year, which we do have enough hunting land where I'm at. That goes to the grind. We've got enough hunting land, but I cut my finger, so that's why I'm kind of using my 2 fingers here. We didn't get really lucky on my property opening day, and my buddy was like, hey, come on over and I've got some deer for you if you want to shoot them. So we went over there. And I got these 2 does. I'm just kind of trimming this up, making it look squared off. So that's got a little bit of blood on that. Trim that off. Give that one to the dogs. So this is my 2nd time butchering a deer. It's really good practice for me because I have this habit of kind of just jumping right into things and going head first. And it seems to have worked out so far. I mean, to each their own whenever it comes to butchering, but this, I've watched a few videos. There's a really nice cut there. Trim that up. And then this will be a separate roast. There's plenty of how-to videos. This isn't necessarily a how-to. It's more of a, hey, this is what we're up to. To the dogs, to the dogs. Those go to the dogs. More or less what we're up to here. So that'll come out. Check that. Make sure it's not all bloody. Come on now. So that looks like a pretty good cut there. And this nice, beautiful lean meat. Venison is the most healthiest meat for you. So, all right. Let's get this trimmed up. Another nice loin here. Check that for blood. That goes to the dogs. There's another cut here. We'll cut some of this more brown meat out that's here. I don't know if you can tell the color difference. It's a bit bruised looking, so I'll just cut that out and give it to the dogs. Cut that, dogs. Square this up a little bit. That's a good chunk of meat right there, which I'll be going back through this bucket and I'll be cubing out what I can. Like if I can make a cube with it, it's gonna go into a canned roast. Miss Hippie Hebrew is going to can it like this. You can probably make a couple cubes out of. This is going to get trimmed, all this bloody meat. It'll all get, nothing's going to waste here. I mean, I don't even consider what I'm giving to the dogs waste because it's feeding them. So that's always good. I'll go grind. So let's see. Just gonna square this off like that. Flip. I do leave the silver skin on because I've heard from a few people that the silver skin, when you leave it on when you're freezing your cuts, it's just an extra added layer of protection from freezer burn. So that's what we're gonna do. So there's our three. That's our three cuts there. I mean, I should probably cut this a little bit more. And like I said earlier, I'm by no means an expert. It's probably very obvious to people that have been doing this their whole life that I don't know what I'm doing. And that's okay, because that's how we learn, right? So, I've read a few books. That can grind. And that's it. So there's that. Now what I have here, doesn't look like I have much to go off of on this. I've got some stuff on this. There's a backstrap still on this one. So I'm gonna just cut a little bit of it out. There's not too much to go crazy over, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just kind of ruffle some feathers here, and I'm gonna put some of this backstrap into the grind pile. Oh no, oh gosh, what have I said? Yes, I'm doing it. I know it's everybody's favorite cut, but what you're not seeing is there is still half of a hanging deer right next to Miss Hippie, which you don't have to show that. That's a little bit graphic. I don't know where YouTube's gonna go with it if they call me on it. But, so this, got a pretty good cut here. So, more cubes for roasts. I don't know what that was, I just stepped on something, probably a bone fragment. Alright. So there's that. Cut that off the bone there as much as you can, because that is going to go in there. More cubes for roasts. I mean, it's a lot of work doing your own butchering, but I tell you what, it's really satisfying being able to bring home the deer. There's a nice big chunk of meat that'll have to get cubed up. So the goal is to get as much of the meat off as you possibly can. And I'm sure somebody's wondering about where we're at. Yes, I'm in my garage. And right now it is about 36 degrees, and it's been 36 degrees in the garage for the last week, and that's how long I have been hanging my deer. So about a week now. I butchered the smaller one a couple days ago, and then now I'm working on the big one. So it's been pretty well insulated in here, really good consistent temperature, and that's what you want for whenever you're hanging a deer from what I've read. Anything below 40 degrees when you've skinned it. Let's see, I'm trying to find, there's a spine. So we're gonna just cut into this. I got a lot of information from Scott Ray, who is a butcher out of England. Maybe England. He sounds Scottish, which is good on him, or wherever he's out of. But go visit his page. He's got just excellent amounts of butchering tips and advice. Really check him out. Scott Ray. I'll put a link to his channel down below. because he's where I got the idea to, or well, not the idea, but he's where I've gotten a lot of my butchering insight from over the past couple of days. So, you know, so now what I'm doing is I'm tearing away this tallow. A lot of really good meat in there that I probably should have been a little bit more finessed with, but there it is. So we'll cut that out. There's that. Look at that. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful meat. You got your silver side there, and there's your meat right there. There you go. That'll go to the dogs. So now, there's this nice piece of backstrap here that I'm going to try and gingerly take out. So, just sitting here following it with my knife, as Scott says, with the tip of your blade. Keep going. Looks like a really nice cut here, like beautiful, beautiful cut. Kind of let your knife do most of the work as I'm pulling back. Look at that. A little bit of blood there. Okay, so again, I'm not really sure. It looks like a piece of back strap with some rub in it. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. Nothing to waste. And there you have it. So I feel like I'm mostly showing off most of my ignorance at this point on how to butcher, but there's no really any other way to learn unless you're doing it. So you got to get out there, do it yourself. I mean, what's going to happen whenever the butchers are full? Like, I live in a small town and they don't take deer. It's, if you don't get your deer reserved, I mean, it's done. You're not going to be able to butcher your deer, and you're just letting these beautiful animals go to waste if you've shot them. I mean, I highly recommend learning how to butcher yourself. Like I said, I'm not completely ignorant whenever it comes to butchering, but the best way to learn is to do it yourself. And that's all I can really say about it. Okay, so I got the back strap off. This is probably going to be real bad editing, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I've already made one cut, and I thought, oh, maybe I should film that at least there's something that I do know that I'm doing here. So this is the back strap. I'm cutting it off because I cut it off in this section, this length, because I think the deer that we have, I mean, they're probably about 2.5 feet worth of backstrap, and that's just a lot of meat to thaw at one time. So I'm divvying it up into sections, and here's one of the sections right now. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting just kind of along the bone here, and then I flip. I just kind of follow with the tip of the knife, and just keep on following, keep on cutting down. Kind of let the knife do most of the work for you, or the feeling for you. If you want to zoom in on this and see like kind of what I'm doing. You should get down in there. So I'm just kind of scoring. I know I'm losing minuscule amounts of meat there. Oh, that was a big chunk of meat that I missed. But this is it. I mean, probably one of the easier ways to get a backstrap off. And there it is. And then I'll just do the same on the other side. Unfortunately, that's gonna go to that. So I'm looking for where the vertebrae is. I make a first cut. Pulling some of the meat from the other side there. This is why it's very important to have a very sharp knife. I don't know where my sharpener went, but it's somewhere around here. So again, same as the other side, flip the meat towards you and just kind of score, saving as much of that precious meat that you can. And there we go. I hit the bottom of the vertebrae there. And just keep going. Keep going until you feel it getting released. And there it is. And put this to the side. There it is. Got a very nice chunk of backstrap. I'm going to leave the silver skin on again because I've seen and been told by multiple different sources that keeping the silver skin on, like I said, adds that extra protection of freezer burn, which, I mean, let's be real, a deer doesn't last very long in this household. We love our venison, and that's it. So, well, good luck to the rest of the hunters. I hope you guys get your meat, fill your freezers, and provide for your family. And again, if I'm doing something wrong, comment, let me know. If you like what you see, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever you need to do. And that's it. We're gonna, just a real quick, short, sweet, and meat video. See you guys later on the homestead.